In this video, we'll be covering what a design system is and why they are valuable. Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Bellini, and I'm all about achieving financial independence through real estate investing and online business. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking to achieve financial freedom for yourself, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps me out, and I'll be sure to keep cranking out these videos for you. So with recent advances in technology and software design, we have a number of design programs available to us today. In the past, people would design with Photoshop and Illustrator, and those weren't really meant for web UI design. Those were meant for, editing photos for Photoshop or vector design in Illustrator. And this kind of lack of a UI design program led to Sketch, Figma, and Adobe XD. Those are kind of the top three design programs today. And they offer a lot more features for UI design than any other program in the past. And one of those big features is the ability to build a design system. And I'll kind of read here the definition of a design system. A design system is a collection of reusable components guided by clear standards that can be assembled together to build any number of applications. And what that means is reusable components are basically small little pieces of a larger whole. And so basically you have a collection of these small reusable components, and you just kind of build out an entire interface using these components. You can just like drag them out and reuse them wherever necessary across the design of your entire website. And we'll kind of cover why you might want to do that. So the first one is consistency. When you are building out interface designs and it's a larger team with multiple designers, it's really, really hard to maintain strict consistency, especially if you're doing everything from scratch, because everyone's going to do everything a little bit different drop shadow. The color might be slightly different. The text size might be off just a little bit. So you lose consistency across all the pages, and it kind of gives a unpolished, unprofessional feel because things are kind of like slightly different and off across the entire site, and it's just not great. So a design system basically provides a single source of truth. You can always refer back to the design system because that is the standards that have been set in stone, basically. So you can always reference back if you have any question as to what size font to use or what color or what button size or anything. It's all right there. You can just grab it and drag it in, and you don't have to really think about that at all because it's already been decided. So that's a huge one. The next one is efficiency. And in the past, designing for companies, I basically had to design everything from scratch. Every new design, I had to create every little thing. The button was always new, always had to round the corners, I always had to put the text on there, change the letters, the line spacing, the fonts, and just every little thing. I had to do it over and over and over and over again, any design I ever did. And so with the design system, you don't have to do that near as much because everything's been basically designed out for you. So instead of building out everything, you can just go to your design system, go to your components, and grab whatever you need. Let's say you need the menu at the top of your website. You can just create that component and just drag it in. Instead of having to build out everything, you just drag it in, drag a header, paragraph text, button, just really, really simple. Makes things more like a drag and drop kind of functionality versus having to build everything from scratch every single time. So it makes it way more efficient. And it also allows for quick iterations. So when you create a component and you use it on a separate page, that is an instance of that original component. So what that means is you have kind of like that master component that you created, and then you kind of create copies of it. And what you can do is, let's say you want to change the button color on a certain component, and you have that across your entire, many pages. What you can do is just change that master component, and it'll update all the other ones on the other pages. So you don't have to go through and change them on all the different pages. So it makes things a lot easier, a lot quicker. So if you want to try a different button color or, whatever it is, it just makes it a lot easier and faster. Another one here, and this isn't really on the design side as much, but it's on the development side, and it just makes life a lot easier for developers, because if you have a component that you've created, developers can create that design in code, and that can be a component for them. and they can have a component library as well. So if instead of having to build everything from scratch every single time, they can just go to their component library of code snippets and just drag it into the page, and boom, it's like right there because it's already been built already. So it's going to save you a lot of money, basically, because you don't have to spend as much on the development. You have to kind of do it up front so while they build all the components, but once those are kind of built, it's a lot faster just to drag those things in and have it designed up, a lot quicker. So that's really good. So when you're building a design library, there's a lot of different ways to go about it as far as organization. One of the most popular ways to do it is called atomic design, and it was coined by Brad Frost, which I'll kind of show you here. So he wrote this article, Atomic Design, and I'll kind of go into what it's all about here briefly. So he bases it off the periodic table of elements, and kind of how he frames it is like, these are the building blocks of almost anything. And that's kind of how we approach the design as well. So it's atoms, molecules, organisms, templates, and pages is how he organizes it here. So I'll kind of go through these briefly. So atoms are the smallest unit possible. So it's going to be things like text and colors and little icons and tool tips, like really small. You can't really get any smaller because it's the smallest unit possible. So that's that there. The next one is molecules. So these are kind of like a functional little unit. So right here, he has a search bar. So it consists of this text here, this text field, and a button. So it has a small little function, and that's basically what a molecule is. And then it kind of basically just grows from there. So organisms. So here you can see like a menu bar here at the top. So this organism contains this molecule here. So here's the molecule, and it's part of a bigger organism. So this whole thing is basically considered an organism. The logo and the menu items here and kind of the layout and all that. It's just basically part of a bigger whole. And then from there, it just kind of grows. You have your whole template, kind of like the whole page laid out. So this could be like a reusable template for different pages. And then it kind of grows from there with going into pages with the actual content. So I kind of want to show a brief example of how this could work in Figma. So we have, briefly here, we have atoms. So, and this was just taken from the Figma community here, and you can go in and just basically take any of them. But I just want to kind of go over this one here. And it's not completely filled out, but I just want to kind of give you like a quick idea. So there's atoms here for icons. So there's like icons, colors, typography, buttons, some input fields, checkboxes, toggles, link colors and styles with underline or no underline, and all the different states. So I think you get the idea here. It's just basically like really, really simple little pieces here. And then from there, we kind of move up to larger pieces. There's like switches, there's calendar drop-downs, other drop-down types, input fields that have like little up or down toggles there, more search features, text areas. So that's basically kind of the idea. So to wrap things up here, if you're looking for consistency and efficiency in building your websites, this is a great way to do that because everything is all there. Your single source of truth. You have all your fonts, your colors, your layouts, your button colors, just kind of everything is there ready to go. And you can just give that to your designer, or your designer can reference it and build your designs a lot faster. You can actually share it with a developer, and they can kind of look at the code actually and grab code snippets off of, if they use Figma, grab the code and build their own components using that, and it makes things just a lot easier, a lot faster, and a lot cheaper. So it's a great way to go. It's a great new feature of design programs today, and it's it's not going anywhere. It's going to be used more and more and more and make things a lot easier for designers and developers moving forward. So if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.